Okay, let's talk about something that's, well, just incredibly stressful. Your child is sick, and on top of all the worry, you have to explain what's wrong in English. Today, we are going to build a simple toolkit of phrases so you can walk into any doctor's office and communicate with total confidence. Let's dive right in.
You know that feeling, right? Your kid is not doing well, your heart is pounding, and you just need help. The absolute last thing you need is to be fumbling for the right words. It's a tough spot to be in for sure, but having just a few key phrases in your back pocket can change everything. So take a look at this. This is a perfect example of what a parent might need to say. See how much is packed in there? You've got the timeline, a few days ago. You have super specific symptoms like mouth sores and a rash, and you even have what you think it might be. Getting this kind of detail across clearly is honestly the most important first step to getting your child the right care. So here's our game plan. We're going to go through this step by step. We'll start with those initial worried thoughts. Then we'll tackle the most common symptoms from colds to stomach bugs, and then we'll put it all together. By the end, you'll have this awesome little toolkit ready to go.
All right, let's get into it. This first part is all about laying the groundwork. It's about taking that feeling of anxiety and turning it into simple, clear words so you feel like you're in control, right from the start. Okay, first up, let's dive into the stuff you're going to see all of the time: colds, coughs, and fevers. Honestly, these are probably the words you'll end up using the most. Here it is. This is your go-to sentence for a common cold. It's fantastic because it gives the doctor the whole picture in one shot. You've hit all the key points: runny nose, sore throat, and a cough. Boom, done. But in conversation, you might say it a little differently. Phrases like, they're really congested, are super common and get the point across fast. And saying something like, they've been coughing all night, that's actually really important information because it tells the doctor it's severe and nobody is getting any sleep. Now, what about when it feels like more than a cold? For fevers and that flu-like feeling, this is the sentence you want. It's a perfect checklist: fever, chills, body aches, headache, and that classic sign, just being completely wiped out with no energy. And here are some other really natural ways to say it. They're burning up. You can just feel how high the fever is when you say that, right? And they're wiped out. That phrase just perfectly captures that total exhaustion. It really paints a picture for the doctor. Okay, next up, tummy troubles. Ugh, this is another really common one. And talking about stomach bugs and feeling sick definitely has its own set of key phrases. This sentence right here is a powerhouse. It's your all-in-one description for a stomach bug. You've got the pain, the nausea, and, well, the two main not-so-fun symptoms. And again, see that little detail? Started last night. Giving a timeline is so helpful for the medical team. Now, for a quicker, more casual way to say it, these are perfect. Saying they can't keep food down is such a clear and direct way to explain how serious the vomiting is, and just mentioning they don't want to eat is a huge clue for doctors about how your kid is feeling. All right, let's move on to skin issues. These can be really tricky to describe, so let's get the words for things like rashes, sores, and one very common childhood illness: hand, foot, and mouth disease. So what is this thing exactly? Basically, it's a virus, and it usually causes three main things: a fever, these really painful little sores inside the mouth, and a rash that shows up, you guessed it, on the hands and feet. Just knowing the name of the illness is half the battle. And this is a really key point. The doctor might use a technical term like enterovirus, but you don't have to. You can, and you absolutely should, just use the common name: hand, foot, and mouth, and make sure everyone is on the same page. So, when you're describing it, here are the exact phrases you need. Be specific about where you see it: sores in their mouth, spots on their hands and feet, and telling them how it's changing over time. That's critical. Saying something like, the rash seems to be spreading, is a really important piece of the puzzle. Okay, we've gathered all these fantastic phrases. Now what do we do with them? Let's put everything together and see what it sounds like in a real phone call to the doctor's office. Honestly, it can be as simple as these three steps. 1. Start with the main symptoms. 2. Say when it started. 3. Tell them what you're worried about. This little formula makes sure you get the most important information out there nice and clear so you can get that appointment. And there we go. You've just put together a whole communication toolkit. Let's do a super quick review so all these powerful new phrases are fresh in your mind when you need them most. Think of this as your cheat sheet.
For a stuffy nose, congested. High fever, burning up. Stomach bug, can't keep food down. And for a rash, get specific. Spots on hands and feet. These are the phrases that get right to the heart of the matter.
At the end of the day, this isn't just about learning some English words. It's about feeling confident enough to speak up for your child. It's about taking a really stressful moment and turning it into a moment of clear, powerful action. You totally got this.
So, to wrap things up, I'll leave you with a quick question. Of all the phrases we just went over, which one stands out to you? Which one do you think you might use first? Just thinking about that for a second is the best way to make sure it sticks in your memory for when it really counts. Thanks so much for joining me.